Good morning. Or not good morning. Why am I saying good morning? Good evening. And welcome to the SRX broadcasted split. We're waiting for the session to go up here. We're going to be racing at Circuito de Navarra, the first road course on the schedule for the SRX season, the season for 2026, season 2 or season 1, I apologize. And we're just waiting for the race session to go up here. We have about, I believe, 15 people registered for this. So a good crowd turning out to the first road race of the season. From what I've heard, the Wednesday race was very fun, and I unfortunately was not able to participate in it because I slept through my time to practice, and by the time I woke up, it was like 10 minutes to the registration. And considering that it took me about 25 minutes to learn how to optimally run this track, I think it's quite quite the good choice to not endanger other people. But strength of field is currently sitting at 1,000 road iRating, 1,042. We got 13 people here for tonight's event and hoping for a good race. Got a lot of the regulars here as we're still waiting for the iRacing program to open. We'll get video to you in just 1 second. All right, there we go. And I will get video to you in just a second. Just gotta get the ticker going here. Okay, and then there we go. Got everything all nice and set up. 23 seconds left in practice. A nice field of 13 cars, at least registered for this event. Currently looking at the one car of Barrett Canning. But 5 seconds left. Practice is ending right now. And Barrett Canning did pretty good in the Wednesday race up until he spun out mid-race. But also another person to look out for is that number 3 car in the field, Chad Bremer. First broadcasted split appearance this season, and during the Wednesday race, he set the fastest lap. But someone who is out on track right now is this number 2 car of Harrison Rivet. In the Good Wrench Chevy SRX car number 2, since the numbers are based off of iRating. Let's get his name up on the screen real quick. I believe this is Harrison's first broadcaster race, and what a track to choose to make your debut. This track is very fast, and in these cars, it's very tough. You'll have to alternate between plowing and getting really loose, and there's a lot of hard braking zones. Like, you'll see exactly just what Harrison did, blew the corner, because there's a lot of hard braking zones where the corner will just sneak up on you. But someone who seems to have really gotten it down, at least this week, is that number 3 car of Chad Bremer. And I tell you what, he's probably a contender for the for the pole. as we still have 3 minutes left in qualifying. Average lap time is going to be about a little over a minute. And I believe we have 15 laps here for today's race. As we're going to watch Chad Bremer, who set the fastest lap in the Wednesday race. We're going to see what he looks like setting a fast lap as he starts to do his first of 2 laps here at Navarra. And it looks like we'll have, I believe we have, yeah, I believe we'll have 11 cars starting this race. I don't know if the 2 people who haven't joined yet out of the 13 entries have joined. But yeah, also the first corner at Navarra is very strange. It's like a triple apex, some drivers have put it. You got to brake really early, and then it really tightens up at the end of it. But Harrison Rivet set his first lap with a 101.348. So that's current pole time right now. Barrett Canning currently in second with a 101.391. 400ths off the pace of the pole time. We have some very close times in laps as Chad Bremer getting ready to start his second and flying lap right now. 101.535 for car number 3. That's going to put him in the 3rd place right now. Can he set anything better? And I believe he might have just gone off track a little bit. Yes, he did. Yes, I believe so. I'm pretty sure that if you go 4 tires off track, that will invalidate a lap. But I actually might be mistaken with that. Chad Bremer might just be using track limits to his advantage here, as he's still putting the car out at full tilt, going down to this real hard braking zone, and misses the apex just a little bit, but avoids going off track. But he's going to be off of his optimal pace right now. As looks like he's just going to finish up his lap. And you can already see the brake rotors glowing bright orange in the front wheel well of these SRX cars. That you will be using the brakes quite a lot here, as we're currently looking at Dylan Messimer in the 4 car, currently 6th right now as he goes wide on, or he actually just finished his flying lap, so that actually doesn't affect him at all. Let's go to Barrett Canning real quick if we can. There we go. He's still doing laps, trying to get any pre-race jitters out of him, as it looks like he's going to be starting on pole, or not on pole, on outside pole, I mean, since he's going to be starting in second, and it's going to be Harrison Rivet taking pole in his first broadcasted SRX appearance. So what a way to make a debut here, is getting a pole at a tough little road course like this. So let's get your starting order all settled as the cars grid for tonight's event. Starting on pole is the number 2 of Harrison Rivet, and on his outside is current SRX points leader Barrett G. Canning on his outside. Starting in row number 2 in the 3rd position is car number 3, Chad Bremer. He's been fast all week at this combo. Can he put it together for a winning performance in his first debut in the SRX broadcast split? And on his outside is going to be the number 11 of Vinny Skinner. Starting in 4th. Row number 3, last car in the top 5. It's the number 6 of James R. Batzer. He's been on the broadcast split a couple of times. And on his outside is the number 4 of Dylan Messimer, or rather I should say inside of Batzer, considering the way that these drivers are lining up. Either way, starting on the inside of row number 4 is the number 5 of Jordan Blasky in the 5 car, and then followed by the number 9 of Jonathan West. Starting in row number 5 is the number 7 of Adam Nicely. On his outside is the number 8 of Zach Hummel. Last car within the top 10 starters here. First car outside of the top 10 is the number 10 of Reed Lilly. And then on his outside is going to be the 13 of Mark Sarson, who has not gridded yet. And rounding out your field in the final starting position is the number 12 of Michael Wilcox. So that will round up your starting order, as I believe this is the most cars that we've had in a broadcast SRX split. The max number of cars that iRacing allows is 16 for this series. So a lot of times we've had people join to try to make the broadcast, and it'll go to like 18 drivers, and then it will split into 2 splits of 9. But some of these drivers are SRX regulars, but have not made it onto a broadcasted split before, like Chad Bremer. Very capable driver and seems to be very fast here at this combo. So we are definitely going to be waiting with bated breath to see what someone like him can do from the 3rd position. 15 laps here, so we got about 15 minutes of road course race in action. And it's going to be Harrison Rivet leading the field to the first road course race of the SRX season. And we got one more SRX race at a road course after this, which is Charlotte Roval. Which I believe week 7, if I'm not mistaken. It's either week 7 or week 9. Either way, green flag is out here. Cars getting spread out as Harrison Rivet got on the gas earlier than some people were expecting. Cars going single file into the first turn. Everything's looking pretty cordial right now as Harrison Rivet leads the field into the first really tight corner. Vinny Skinner with a wide entry, but still keeping up with these top 3 drivers. Barrett Canning all over the back end, as that is, I believe, Messimer going around in the back. Doesn't hit anything. Looks like he just overcooked it on exit, as that's Hummel going around as well. Looks like he was able to get it stopped in the gravel trap, but we keep going here. Currently looking at the 10 of Reed Lilly right behind Jordan Blasky, as Lilly going to dive to the inside, doesn't make contact with Blasky yet, and Blasky's going to have to drive out of the corner. This is for the 6th position right now, as the field jockeying for positions. Blasky running a little bit wide on exit. Looks like Lilly giving Blasky a little bit of a bump down the straight instead of trying to pass. But now Lilly going to the inside into turn 1. Blasky goes way wide, almost to the gravel trap. Lilly goes way wide, almost into the gravel trap. That's going to allow, I believe, nope, Jonathan West is off as well. They're all off in the back here, trying to get everything sorted out. And Lilly and Blasky are still going at it here for the 6th position. They've caught up to the number 6 of James Batzer in 5th. Gonna have to try and pull something on him, as Blasky way late on the brakes, just runs into the back of Batzer, and then Lilly goes wide. I'm sure Batzer's not gonna be too happy about that. I don't know if Blasky just missed his braking point or what, but he just went straight into the back end of Batzer, and we just saw Lilly go off track. Adam Nicely in the 7 car as we peek through this gosh darn Silent Hill fog. Currently had a relatively quiet race so far. But let's go back to the front. Barrett Canning still right behind Harrison Rivet, about 0.2 of a second behind. And Canning with a great run, gonna look down the outside, outbrakes Rivet, but he overshoots the corner. Will he get into the gravel trap just a little bit? And he's gonna go sideways. So that's gonna allow Chad Bremer and Vinny Skinner by. Unfortunate for Barrett Canning, as he seemed to have a lot of pace and was just catching up to Harrison Rivet. But now Chad Bremer has about a 1.2 second gap to make up over to Harrison Rivet, our leader right now. And considering how fast he was in the Wednesday race, it might be possible for him to do the same. As I need to change the change it from time to laps to go, as I believe Rivet got a little bit of the grass on exit right there. I tell you what, Rivet's doing a great job of keeping that car very composed, as we have a car going around in the back into the guardrail. That's Jordan Blasky going around after contact with Reed Lilly, as we see Dylan Messimer going around in the back, sideways across the track, and doing something. What? He is taking I believe he got lost. I don't know how exactly you get lost at Navarra, but that is a first. We have does he get back on track? Yes, he has found his way back on track. Dylan Messimer is back in this race, ladies and gentlemen, as he comes out right in front of the leaders. Going back to Reed Lilly, they have caught up to the back end of Adam Nicely for 5th position, and then Lilly goes around on the brakes a little bit too hard, and looks like just the force of it sent him around, and still trying to get that car righted. And Lilly decides to tow the number 10 car and will retire from this race pretty early. But for the lead, 1.2 seconds still separating Chad Bremer and Harrison Rivet. And I tell you what, Chad Bremer has just set the fastest lap of the race thus far with a 1:01.768, about half a tenth faster than Harrison Rivet. And Barrett Canning is also hot on their heels as well. After that early mistake, he's about 5 seconds behind Rivet. But all it takes is one mistake, one missed braking point for Rivet to make this race a lot closer. As you can see, all the gravel that's being kicked up on the track from cars going off track in that corner. Definitely a hazard. It's definitely something that you notice when you're trying to accelerate in these cars, as Rivet did not get a good exit of that corner. Chad Bremer has closed the gap to within a second now, and you can see at the top of the shot, Barrett Canning's closing in as well, but he's further behind currently, about 4 seconds behind, as Zach Hummel has gotten past Adam Nicely. Looks like Adam Nicely went a little bit off track, and as I was just speaking about Barrett Canning, he is just at the fastest lap of the race thus far, 1:01.462, about half a second faster than Chad Bremer, and almost a full second faster than Harrison Rivet last lap. So Canning is really pushing that car to its limit, trying to regain all the lost speed. And if he keeps up this pace, he will be up with Chad and Harrison in no time at all. Another awkward corner from Rivet is going to bring Chad Bremer within half a second of the lead with 8 laps to go here at Navarra. And let's see the time for for Canning. Yeah, another lap where he was about 9/10 to a second faster than Rivet. Rivet goes a little bit wide on entry. What does he get a slowdown for that? Because if you go too wide, iRacing will give you a slowdown if you use too much of the runoff. But it seems like that hasn't affected him. As Chad gets in the grass just a little bit, you can see Canning's in the grass a little bit. So these guys are pushing these cars to their limits here as they're getting past the lapped car of Michael Wilcox. Very gracious lap car
Let you guys go.
moving out of the way for the leaders. And a much better final corner for Rivet this time.
Good, man. Appreciate it.
Allows him to pull out to about a 7/10 of a second lead over Chad Bremer. Seems like Rivet is starting to get more comfortable with the presence of Chad right behind him. But the gap right now about 6/10, and Chad Bremer is using a lot of that grass right there, but he's still hanging on to the back end of that 2 car. Caught up a lot of time in just that one corner, down to 4/10 of a second between these 2 drivers. And further in the back, we have a battle for 6th place. Adam Nicely all over the rear end of Zach Hummel. Looks like Hummel's going to start pulling away after this corner. And we have some air games going on down the front stretch. Harrison Rivet was weaving back and forth down the front stretch a little bit to try to break the draft. Now, these cars don't really have too much of a draft, considering that they're essentially just wedged boats. But anything helps. And we have a car going around in the back. I believe that's Jonathan West, without a front end, doing his best to keep that car going. And to his credit, he got it back going again. But also someone who has entered back into the fold, that number 1 car of Barrett Canning, under 2 seconds to Chad Bremer, and about 2.5 seconds back to Harrison Rivet, our leader. 5 laps to go here. Chad Bremer starting to slowly lose touch with Harrison Rivet. As I think Harrison Rivet has finally gotten the car under him. As big wiggle from the 3 car of Chad Bremer. Gap is now 1.1 seconds between first and second, and I think soon Chad's gonna have to worry about that Dunkin' Donuts car in his rearview mirror, because soon enough that is someone who's going to be all over him like white on rice. And it looks like a lot of the gravel has been cleared off from the exit of that corner too, besides past the rumble strips. But yeah, looks like Chad is losing some time to Harrison Rivet. 4 laps to go here at Circuito de Navarra. And right now it is Harrison Rivet's race to lose. He's got about a 1.5 second gap over Chad Bremer, and I don't think Chad is going to just let Barrett Canning by that easily. So Rivet just needs to not make a mistake, and he might be a SRX broadcasted split winner in his first race here. But we still have 3.5 laps to determine that, and we do have lap cars coming up. I believe that is Adam Nicely and Zach Hummel. You saw him at just the edge of the shot right there. So hopefully we won't have lap car issues. As let's do the last lap from Rivet, a 102 flat and a 102.6. Or a similar 102 flat from Chad Bremer. A 102.6 was his lap 2 laps ago, where he lost a bunch of time. And then for Barrett Canning, a 102.1. So 3 laps to go here as Rivet actually gets a little bit loose on exit. That's going to allow about a 10th for Chad Bremer if he doesn't make any mistakes. But how will the leaders interact with lap cars coming up on the 7 of Adam Nicely? I don't believe Nicely's been in an SRX broadcasted race either. But luckily, luckily for Harrison Rivet at least, Nicely's gonna pull over on the front stretch, let the leaders battle it out for themselves, and you can see just how much Barrett Canning has caught up to the back end of Harrison Rivet. But 2 laps to go, 2 more trips around the sun here at Circuito de Navarra, and it is the number 2 car in the lead right now. A little bit of a sloppy exit, but you can afford to do that if you're almost 2 seconds ahead of the car behind you. Now the question is, when will Rivet catch Zach Hummel, as Hummel going way wide to allow Rivet the inside line, and Hummel being a very courteous lap car. So very glad to see that the SRX lap cars are being very nice, even when turning right. They're typically very good on the ovals too. But coming to the white flag here, Barrett Canning has gotten to about 0.5 of a second behind Chad Bremer. Made up about 0.9 on the leader, but I think that spin is what's ultimately going to do him in. As Harrison Rivet pulling away, Barrett Canning has to make a lunge at Chad sometime. But how far away is too far away, because he's currently about 0.6 behind that 3 car. And both of them got a really good run down to this heavy braking zone right here. Canning not able to close the gap enough to make a dive up the middle. It's going to come down to the last corner if Canning has anything for him. He's about a second behind Chad Bremer, but it is the star of the show leading every lap from the pole. Harrison Rivet coming out of the final corner survives the pressure from Chad Bremer and Barrett Canning and will take victory here at Circuito de Navarra, as I completely probably butchered that name, but congratulations to Harrison Rivet, and overall a very good race for a road course. I was kind of expecting this to be pretty spread out, but we had a pretty good action for the lead here, as Rivet does celebratory burnouts in both the runoff and gravel trap. But let's get your finishing results up on screen. Harrison Rivet wins tonight's SRX broadcasted split at Circuito de Navarra, with Chad Bremer coming in second. Barrett Canning, early spin brings him back to third, but man, did he have a lot of pace throughout that entire race. And James Batzer comes home in fourth. Vinny Skinner in fifth, rounding out your top 5. First car outside the top 5 is car number 8, Zach Hummel. A pretty quiet but solid 6th place result for him. And in 7th is car number 7, Adam Nicely, with Jonathan West. It seems like a pretty chaotic race for him, considering that he lost his front clip and was around a couple of times, coming home in 8th. In 9th is the 12 of Michael Wilcox, then followed by the 4 of Dylan Messimer. Not even an off-track excursion can stop him from getting a top 5, that number 4 car. Then in 11th, it's the 10 of Reed Lilly, then followed by Jordan Blasky, and then did not start Mark Sarson, car number 13. So with all of that said and done, I hope you enjoyed today's broadcast at Circuito de Navarra. Um, I believe next week we are going back to asphalt oval racing, if I am not mistaken. Let me just check the schedule real quick. Actually, no, we're going dirt oval racing once again, Lima Land next week. That's going to be a lot of fun. Hoping to see you there. Hope you have a great night, and I'll see you next week.